Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about transit moon, sextile, or trine one's natal south node. Now, when we're talking about this transit, well, it can manifest in feelings, emotions, needs, reactions, the family. It could be in harmony with what you're going away from, the home, people, problem in your home life, people you're close to home with, family. They may be in favor of what you're going away from at this time. If the South Node is in Pisces, for example, it might be some addiction. Doesn't necessarily mean it's drugs or alcohol. It could be, say if you have the South Node in Pisces in the 8th house, it could be a sexual addiction as an example. I have my natal South Node in the 5th house, Virgo in the 5th house, and it could be, being overly, going away from being overly critical or judgmental with people of a romantic partner. That's not the case now since I don't have one, but anyway, it could be just something where when you look at this transit as well, it could also be about really you feel more in the mood trying to get away from things that may be affecting you to your detriment, which is the South Node. Um, if the South Node is in Aquarius, it might be some overly rebellious or idiosyncratic behavior, with just being non-conforming for the sake of being, a non-conformist, as an example. South Node is also the past. It could be somebody, uh, reflects someone that was prominent in your past life. Uh, for example, I mean, if you have, the South Node Capricorn in your 4th house, it could be somebody that maybe helped give you structure and discipline in your home life. And it could be where you might feel more up to doing things with people that may have been prominent in your past, whether it was somebody you knew in, could be during your grade school or junior or high school. Um, it could be, somebody that was a fellow employee that you haven't contacted in some time, and you meet up and you just feel more like interacting and doing things with this person more so than usual, more in the mood to do so. And the thing too is believing this is also a time too. I mean, the South Node again, I mean, it's connected with what we're leaving behind. So this is the time too where family members, people you're close to home with, prominent women in your life, they could be more in harmony and agreement with what you're leaving behind. If you have this in one of the called the money job houses in the 2nd, 6th, or 10th house in your natal chart, the South Node, it could be leaving behind some position, and you might be more apt to get more favor from family members at this time in doing so. And the moon is also connected with our unconscious, our subconscious. So it can be something where, whether it was a fear or something, which might be something might have been holding you back, something in your unconscious. It might be something you may be going away from. You may not always be aware of it if the transit moon. So for example, let's say if the transit moon was in Gemini, and maybe there was some issue of vicariousness or superficiality, and it's more where it's because you're talking about a good relationship and aspect between the new moon and the South Node. You're more apt to be able to get away from that energy at this time. And it could also be a time too, again, the South Node is about what can affect one to one's detriment. And the fact is, this is where you might be more at home, may feel more like doing so at this time more so than usual. Now, the South Node is also connected with overdeveloped and redundant qualities. So this could be a time where, again, going back to what you feel like doing, the mood, your temperament at this time is more apt to be able to get away from those qualities. Um, It's kind of like the person that wants in astrology wants to see the Dwad within the Dwad. I mean, if the South Node is in Virgo, say if it's in the 11th house of astrology, it may be might manifest in something like that. Um, the South Node is not completely bad, I wouldn't believe, but what it is, it's energy you're still supposed to be getting away from, or at least being able to emphasize the North Node. It doesn't mean you can't incorporate the South Node to some degree into the North Node energy, but it's still where you're mainly getting away from, for the most part, especially in the second part of one's life, say age 35 and beyond. And the thing about it is, in going back to the South Node, where it has something positive. Now, the South Node can be, I mean, it's overdeveloped and redundant qualities, but it could also reflect what one may be naturally proficient in. And when you have the South Node, I mean, if it's in, let's say if you have the South Node in Aries, it could be about expressing some pioneering energy, innovative energy, being a natural leader. Doing something maybe that's associated with the zodiac sign Aries, such as firefighting or welding or combat sports. It might be something that one may be actually good in at this time, and it could be something where you feel more up to doing, something like that, because the moon again is about our mood, our feelings, what we feel like doing. The moon is also associated with the public, so it can also be a time where the public may be more accepting of those qualities you have, where you're naturally good, where you're naturally proficient. If you have the South Node in Aquarius, it might be something with astrology or computers or astronomy, even electronics. It's something too where, I mean, the South Node is about our comfort zone, where we can become complacent in. And the thing is, the South Node is where, because that it's an area where we may be proficient, or again, we may be naturally proficient, and we might actually excel in. But at the same time, what the South Node does, though, if you stay with the South Node too long, it can inhibit you in a way, because it prevent you from fulfilling what is actually your purpose, which is connected with the North, your mission, your purpose, the qualities that are supposed to be emphasized in that, especially in that latter, the second part of one's life. And it's also a time where you might feel more, I mean, you may be more in the mood to express the energy that is connected with your comfort zone. The South Node in Pisces in the 11th house, as an example, could simply be loafing and relaxing with your friends, meditating with them, perhaps, as an example. But anyway, now another way this transit may manifest, it could be where you may feel, which is the moon, more like going away from, which is the South Node, something that may be adversely affecting you to your detriment. Let's say, for example, if the natal South Node is in Capricorn in the first house, it could simply be a rather pessimistic or negative, which is Capricorn, outlook, which is the first house, or maybe a very negative perception of the physical body. Now, let's say another way this transit may manifest, it could be the mother, family members, people you're close to home with, which is the moon, could be more in favor of what, again, you're naturally adept and proficient in, which is connected with the South Node. Let's say, for example, if the natal South Node is in Gemini in the 7th house, it could be by being very shrewd and cunning, which is Gemini, to outmaneuver open adversaries, or even dealing with legal issues, which is the 7th house. Now, it also can be a time where it can be auspicious to respond and react, which is the moon, to someone from the past, which is, of course, associated with the South Node. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, now let's say, for example, if the natal south node is in Taurus in the fourth house, um, it could be, somebody, that might have helped you form a stable, peaceful, and tranquil, which is Taurus, home life, which is the fourth house. Someone that might help give you stability in your home life. Um, let's say another way this transit may be expressed is that you may easily express your feelings, perhaps regarding your feelings of the moon, of course, and regarding someone from the past, which is the south node. Now, let's say, for example, if the natal south node is in, let's say it's in Capricorn in the 11th house, it could be somebody that might have mentored you in astrology or computers, electronics, astronomy, as some examples. Anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.